Now, so I was chatting with I'm a Toronto Free Scholar, Aldo. There's some discussion about exploring Bolognese Delagoki actions on top of Fiore's longsword in two hands. So, Scholar Mike Pennington and myself have been looking at this today, and here's the video of some of the things we've thought of. First, we're looking at 4 of the postas in the Bolognose system with longsword in two hands. Starting right foot forward, wide. Thus, this feels like just a cross-footed breve. Then going to open on the right, again, feels like a cross-footed breve. And here, feels like a narrow breve. Here, feels like a narrow breve. So, that's all fine as far as comfort level with the longsword is concerned. Moving back. Next, looking at some of the common actions within the Delagoki system. Again, starting right foot wide and starting here. First of all, if we look at ribbon cuts and across, that feels fine with the longsword. In fact, we often do that with the false edge deflection anyway. Now, true edge, that just feels like a aggressive pose to change, so that's fine. That's the spot of cuts directly going to the true edge on either side. Next, Rodolfo, true edge Tatani. We often do this as a secondary action after the bind anyway, going after somebody's hands, so that's fine. In fact, we've been known to do it on the other side, which is not seen in the Delagoki system. Next, the thrust. I'm used to thrusting out through longa or out through longa. In this case, looking at a thrust in opposition here. Well, for example, in the peasant strike, we've been known to go under the sword like that. I feel like my hands are a bit exposed. I'd want to bring my hands up a little bit higher because I don't have a semi-complex hilt. So instead of here, you want to go to here, and that's not far from Finestra. So I'm okay with that. In the context, I would only want to use that if my opponent was entering under false time, or if I cheated the distance such that I might be able to get that thrust home before they could adequately respond. The one that I've usually had difficulty with whenever I consider this conversation is the tremazone, because of course, on the one hand, you're coming across and then cutting the Delagoki system, and we do not have an equivalent movement in Fiore. However, from the bind and having downward pressure from someone overbinding, very common for us to go to Finestra. And if the downward pressure is taking my point offline, we have an offline Finestra, which then often turns into a finishing or follow-on fendente strike, either with a backward step as I'm trying to get out, or perhaps around cut at the exposed arms and hands. So thinking about it today, I've gained comfort with thinking of this as an analogy instead of having a tremazone from the Delagoki system with a sword in two hands, thinking of either a false edge deflection, which gets about downward pressure, or just coming to an overbind where someone's pushing down and I'm going hands high. Their point is going by my left shoulder, and then I'm stepping forward or backwards and cutting. To me, that's a close equivalent action, a closely equivalent action to the tremazone. So those are that's just a quick comparison of motions. Next, looking at stepping through the guards. First, sword in one hand, the Delagoki form, if I remember the form correctly, we have ribbon cut, tremazone, ribbon cut, Rodolfo, thrust, cut without a step, ribbon cut, tremazone, and then ribbon cut and back. Looking at this within the context of what we just discussed with the different actions with sword in two hands, doing the form again with sword in two hands, The only awkward part of that I find is the trim and zone, and within the context of within the context of blade pressure applying down, my hands go high, and then I cut. I think we can make that work. In which case, then we would be able to look at free play, drills and free play, applying these actions from the Bolognose system onto the longsword section. I look forward to hearing your thoughts. Thank you.